Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and a build finale of our AMT Modified Stock Hauler and truck. It's the 53 pickup, and I think this is just coming out by itself. So if you want to just build the truck, I think you can now. Don't quote me on that. Just something I think I saw on YouTube, but I might have been asleep, so we'll see. Let's get everybody out of the way here. Everybody came in for this one. It took about everybody too. It is a massive kit in a pretty good sized box. Oh geez, Tim. Man down already. But I'm gonna move the truck out of the way. I'm gonna bring the hauler over here because I did a bunch to that. First off, I figured out the ramps. You know, they drop in here, and I couldn't figure out where to put them. So somebody told me this one goes down, and that locks that one in. And if you flip this one over and set it on top, it's not going anywhere. Friction fit. It will if you flip it over and everything, but it's a better place than any for it, I guess. I just added some tires across the top just for looks. And that, other than that, the decals I added. Let me move this out of the way. I made this to be removable because eventually I want to turn this into a food truck. And when I did that, I made this box and I put a toolbox on here. Pretty much it looks cool. And it makes it to where I can pick this up real easy and get to the battery. So that's the only reason why that's here. This, I added the two little wings to either side here. And on the front, I'll pull this out of the way, I added these two little uprights. And they make it to where this is a lot easier to line up. The two wings here keep it from teeter-totter, and I know I said that on my update, but I'm just showing you again because it was that easy of a upgrade there. On the sides here, let me pull this off because it will fall. On the sides, I changed the tires. I didn't like the rubber that came with it, so I'm not even sure where these came from. They're white walls just thrown inside out. And I did use the Western rims, just painted the insides of those, and then used my Tamiya's gray panel liner in there to aluminum them up, I guess is the best word for it. And then I came back and wiped off the hubs to make those where they're chrome hubs on the Westerns. The underside, simple. I ran the wires off the lights into the frame, all the way down, out, through the hole here. Easy, both sides. All the way down in this frame, there's a nice U-channel in there. When you put the expanded metal on, it covers everything up. The only thing I really did detail-wise is I painted the springs, the gunmetal, or the gunmetal. I painted them the metallic gray, just so they had a little bit of contrast to everything else. And that's it. This was easy. I took some of my pastels and just kind of brushed them on. Same with the ramps. Trying to keep it in the center because that's where the tires are going to roll up there. This is such a cool kit. It really is. The front, I did everything in the gunmetal except for the aluminum up front, or for the steel on the receiver, and the steel on the crank. Now, if you look, this thing, although it's four wheels, when it sat here, this thing would drop down, so it tilted, which meant that you had to kind of have it in the tongue all the time. And I wanted to be able to have it set in side by side or whatever, cattywampus, because like I said, eventually I'm going to build a box for this and make it a food truck for the Texaco station, which we're getting back into here soon. So what I did is I just took a little piece of brass tubing and painted it silver and crushed it and shoved it down on there with some glue in there. And it held in place and was fine. All I did was I measured it and made it to where it's kind of sitting just a smidge high on the tongue, just to keep it level. It looks good, and it makes it to where now it's nice and tight on here. So I am jazzed with that. These, I'm so happy to find a spot for them where they're not going to slide every time I bump the thing. The toolbox makes this so nice to work, and it seems like it belongs there. You know, even without it being strapped down, I was thinking about making a strap going over the top and all that, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is, just because I'm going to grab it on the sides here, and I know that strap would end up getting jerked up. But along with this, we have that front piece, you know, that drops in there, the tire rack, and I finally got my decals. So I made a Grandpa Mark's Hobbies Racing Team decal with the Texaco logo on it, and on the sides, just a Grandpa Mark's Hobbies Racing Team decals. And these are matte, so that they're not going to get a high gloss. So I did not polish this, but I learned something today. Well, not today, last night. This is all painted with Tamiya paint. And I'd had a long time to cure. I put the decals on, and I didn't want these decals because they're kind of like a vinyl decal. They're not real good decals, but they work good for this. I didn't want them peeling off. So I took this over to the spray booth, and I used Gallery's new gloss varnish on here. And I kind of hit it quick and hard. I gave it a good coat, and then I didn't want it to have this be all shiny and this be flat. So I miscoated over it and kind of oversprayed it to give it a little bit of a dollar look. I didn't want to go matte on it. I wanted a little bit of shine. But I'm telling you, if I sanded this and used the Tamiya's polish, that would come out gloss clear. I mean, shiny, shiny. And that's not what I wanted with this build. I wanted it just to be that semi-gloss muted gunmetal that was right out of the can. So there's that. It doesn't have chains yet. Don't shoot me. I went to Hobby Lobby and looked for chain, and they just didn't have the chain that I'm looking for. So I'll go on Amazon or online or something, and I'll look for chain. I'm looking for regular chain, and they had more of a half-twist decorative thing, and I didn't want that. So that's why I don't have chain on it yet. Then we're going to put this off the side, out the way, and let's bring in this truck. The truck, I can pull you down here for the truck. It's not as massive as that trailer. Again, gunmetal, no frills, just gunmetal. I didn't polish it. I didn't even clear coat it. Don't tell anybody. I didn't even clear coat it. The only chrome I did was on the windshield wipers, the door handles, the front emblem, and the two tail lights. And I had to do the tail lights because I had to do a what do you call it? Like a light block on them, and the tow bar. So that's it. That was chromed on here. I wanted to keep it kind of subdued. I did black the glass and just a little tiny bit in here where the window would open and close, and that's it. I didn't go all out with it. I just wanted it to be kind of basic. And then with this, for once, I used black panel liner. Usually I use a pencil and this and that. It needed to be darker than that, so I used the black panel liner on the doors, the vents, the vent up front, just to give it a good break on there, because it needed it. The engine, I detailed a lot on this engine. I'm going to bring it up to you so I can move it around a little bit. The engine itself is awesome. It's one of the nicest flathead 8s that I have done. I'm going to take this off too, because when I tilt it, we're going to lose it. So I got the distributor wired. I used an aftermarket distributor on here, and I think that's all I used that was aftermarket on here other than the plug wires. Everything else in here is pretty much stock, except for the dipstick. There is a dipstick in there right here. So I just used the Tamiya green. I learned that the engine was supposed to be green for this year, so that's what I went with. And just detailed the snot out of it. I wish you could see, and I'm going to try to get my finger there so it will lock on it, but it's not going to. The light's not there for it. And I just knocked my radiator off, but that's easy to fix. The fuel pump and there we go. And the fuel filter. That fuel filter is Tamiya's iron or dark iron. There we go. I knew that was going to fall off and I didn't want to lose it. And I knew I didn't have it glued on very well. But it's dark iron. And then I let that sit and I painted it with clear yellow when it was dry. And I'm telling you, I wish the camera would pick that up, because dang it if that doesn't look like a bowl full of gas. Now all the wires on the firewall and on the fender wells, I used rubber black just because that's what I had and I wanted them to look good. And it just painted on there real easy. It did. You see, I was bored, so I did all the bolts like they're brand new bolts. I also drilled out the latch assembly and painted those silver too. So the engine was a blast, other than losing my radiator. Remember, I have magnets right up here for this thing to grab, and it holds fairly well. It will let it out, but it pulls itself back in there like that, and it sits in there nice. So that was one thing I did right at the beginning that I kind of thought was going to hold super tight, but it didn't. But it does hold tight enough. The logo, I think I showed that in the update. That came out good. I rubber blacked underneath the, or semi-gloss blacked underneath the fuel cap on here. The bumpers went on great. I was able to clear them, super glue them. I made my own decals. I finally got a nice printer, so I was able to, or decals, my own, I finally got a good printer and I was able to make my own license plates. So I was having fun with that. And you all saw the wood grain get done. Put the tow bar in there. And when I put the tow bar in, I put it right where they said it was supposed to be. I could have moved that forward and glued it up here. And I wish I would have. I glued it right where it said to glue it, right on the frame. And if I would have moved it up front here farther, I think I could have got the spare tire in there that they don't even give. But they do give the spare tire bracket. And I think it would have looked pretty cool with that spare in there. So that was after the fact. I learned, because I already had the spare set up for it. And then glued everything in. And after the fact, I was like, well, dummy, that ain't going to work. So the spare's not in there, but I did put the bracket in just so I had it, and it wasn't in a box where I was like, now what the heck did that go to? You can see the wires. I ran down here and kind of just made it to where they look like there's wires run from the front to the back. I mean, they have them, so why not do it? The metallic gray on the springs, aluminum for the exhaust, which went in there pretty good. I got a little gaposis right here, but not too bad. And I left this clean. I didn't dry brush this or anything. I just wanted to leave it clean. The only thing I did was dirtied up the tires, because I wanted to show off my wood. That's exactly why. Did the highlighting of the bolts and nuts on the frame and everything like that too. And put the license plate on the front too. Ohio has too, until just recently. But all in all, this thing went together quick, fast, and in a hurry for how many parts there are to it. It's not a huge part count, but it's enough to where you're able to make it really nice. So I got the wires all run. I got my battery case in here. There's more than enough room in here, so I didn't want it just rattling around. So I foam taped it down so it turns on and off real nice. This goes on and covers it up real nice, and you can't see it. So the lights, they look great. They're not overpowering, but they do look very good. The dome light, Jim sent me out, Jim Paluzzi. His link is there in the description, but you can check him out on our Facebook group page too. Taillights came out real good. I even, don't know if you can see it, but I even drilled the hole out to get light onto the license plate. And you'll see that in the music montage at the end. With the pictures. But there is the truck. I'm almost sad this is done. This is the second build in a row now that I'm almost sad it's finished because I had so much fun with it. And it's almost one of those kits that you put together. I'm going to zoom you out. Where you put together and you're sitting here on a table going making engine noises. The trailer fits on there real good. And what I like is with that little brass piece on there, this is on the ball, but not all the way down on the ball. So it makes it easy to take on and off. And when I display this, I'm going to put the gasser on here, because that I think will look great with that semi-gloss black or almost matte black with the matte gunmetal and semi-gloss black on the truck. This is going to display out really nice, especially with all the lights on and everything. It's going to just be so cool. I did not run lights on these on the gasser because it's a gasser. But I did have fun with everything here. So I want to thank you for sending me the kit. I can't wait to get this sitting next to the Texaco station. I've been playing with that in the background. I got about another month before that thing is going to get revealed. And I don't want to do update on it. I just want to do a huge reveal on it. And honestly, I'm going to have to sit like halfway across the room to do the reveal on that thing. But this is going to tie into it with the Texaco Racing Team. And with that, how about if we say thank you to Gallery for everything they've done for me. Without them, I would still be brush painting. But if you get anything from Gallery, don't forget, in the coupon code, Grandpa Mark, get you 10% off of everything. We also want to say thank you to our veterans, our active duty members, and our first responders. I salute each and every one of you for putting it out there every day so we can do what we're doing here. And I don't want to forget to tell everybody that October 11th is going to be our 24-hour group build. Jason and Bruce and I are going to be live on TV. And then we're going to be, I think Bruce is going to be working on trying to get people in and out as we build. So there'll be more than just the three of our mugs on here. If I get a $2,000 or up to $2,000 worth of donations, my son Zach is going to shave my head while we're on the air. So let's get the donations in. The GoFundMe page is set up and it's open and running, and it's in the description down below. So with that, how about if we turn on the music and enjoy the video? Thank you for watching. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. And we're gonna have a brain day today. Start over. Now I did see that the hauler, I think, is coming out by itself, or the hauler. But I'm telling you, if I sanded this or used Tamiya's putty, it doesn't have chains yet. Don't shoot me. I went to Home Depot. Don't shoot me. I went to Lowe's. Don't shoot me. I went to Hobby Lobby